Well, hey, greetings and salutations, everybody. Welcome to the final broadcast of the week for John Campea's Open Mic right here on our YouTube channel. Glad to have you guys here where the mic is open. The floor is yours. We are here to talk about the things you guys want to discuss here today. Joining me in the room, we got Ray Ora.
You know what's happening at 3:45, right?
No, what?
I'm picking up my Ninja Turtle pizza, baby.
Oh, my God. Wait, Ninja Turtle pizza?
Well, it's the box that has Ninja Turtle Mutant Mayhem on it.
Oh, well, that will, of course, make the pizza taste better.
I
then.
mean, come on.
Jonathan Voico's here as well.
Hey.
What are you picking up at 3:45?
My self-respect.
Traffic.
Traffic. And guys, you know what I'm going to be doing at 3:45?
Yep.
Getting ready to drive out to the Hollywood Bowl
Yeah.
to go see John Williams in concert tonight. The Maestro of the Movies annual concert is this weekend, and Ann and I and Dennis Zen, and we're going to go out and see it tonight. This is going to be like 8 or 9 years in a row. And I look, they've not said anything official. I think this is going to be his last year.
I think it's interesting that it's so early because usually it's September and they're running it July this year.
They do usually push it a little bit later in the year, a little bit later into the summer months at any rate. And this year they're doing it a little bit earlier. And I don't know if that has something to do with his work schedule or
I'm thinking, yeah.
or I think this might be his last one.
Do you guys know if Hans Zimmer does anything like this?
Yes.
Yes,
Because
but not like this
Yeah.
annual, like the Maestro of the Movies thing. But yes, everyone. Actually, me and Ann and Dorina, we went to go see Hans Zimmer.
It's a full-on. It's like a full-on concert.
Yes.
Yeah.
I got to go see him because I kind of like missed that John Williams. I still know John Williams. Don't worry. But like the movies that he used to work on, I never caught those movies when I was younger.
Right.
I watch them now. So they don't really have that.
If you do like YouTube Hans Zimmer live, you can see some of the concert like footage. Yeah, it's good.
Actually, a few months ago, Ann, myself, and Martika, the executive producer of Designing Hollywood, we went to an event in LA with this string quartet.
Oh yeah, you told me about that.
That was where the lead of the string quartet is the lead violinist of Hans Zimmer's orchestra. And so they did an evening of playing just Hans Zimmer's music, this string quartet. It was so awesome hearing them play What Are You Going to Do When You're Not Saving the World, the Man of Steel Superman theme, with just a 4-piece quartet doing it. But it was awesome. I loved it. But anyway, so that's what we're going to be doing tonight. So guys, you know what? No opening topic today. It's Friday.
Yeah.
So let's just get right into the things you guys are going to talk about. By the way, for open mics, there's 2 different ways that you guys can get a topic or a question for us to address on the show. Number one, if you watch the show any of the 23 hours of the day when we're not live, you can send it in to our tip link at streamelements.com/JohnCampea/tip. And if you are watching live right now, you can use the super chat feature and send in a topic or question. And if we think your topic or question is appropriate to be used on our show, then we will address it here. So let's get into it. Jonathan, what do we got up first?
Wesley's up first. Would the inflated budgets of recent blockbusters have to do with the pandemic? Stopping and starting again for shutdowns, resources for safety protocols, extended schedules, etc. Maybe just a temporary spike, but studios still definitely need to reel it in.
You know what? I think you raise a good point there, because when you look at the budget of Man of Steel, for example, that included the development money that went into Tim Burton's The Death of Superman movie that never happened. There was a bunch of development money that got spent on that before they ever shot the movie. And then that got, I don't know why, I don't know how that's fair, but that got tacked on to what the production budget of Man of Steel was. So when you're talking about the movies that are coming out now, that a lot were probably shot during the pandemic going on, it is probably very likely that some of that money came from either delays, restarts, safety protocols, stuff like that. That's probably a really good point.
Speaking of budget, are we allowed to disclose the information that was told to you earlier?
Yeah, I'll say this. So a little bit earlier in the show today, we were talking about the opening weekend box office projections for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem. And I mentioned on the show that I could not find the production number. I couldn't find anywhere how much it cost to make the movie. I didn't know if it cost $200 million. I didn't know if it cost $85 million. Well, I got messaged by somebody, let's just say, very firmly in the know. about what the budget of that movie would be.
Yeah.
And the budget for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem, and I will not mention who it was, is $85 million. So there I can say that the production budget of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem is $85
We know who told him.
What do you think of
Not
that?
even the right studio when he told
It's not
him.
even the right studio.
What do
It's
you
not
think that
Zaslav.
amount? What do you think of that amount? In
I
terms
think that's
of-
amazing.
Yeah.
Okay, so
That's great. You can crank out a feature film. And like I said, I didn't like the visual styling look of this Mutant Mayhem movie at first, but the more I've been watching the trailers, the visual style is kind of warming up to me. If you can pull off a movie like that and do it for $85 million, that's pretty awesome. That's pretty great. I mean, Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, they made that for $100 million.
100 million. But taking into account what our box office projections are, is it a good chance that it'll make its money back or
Well, okay, so
break
let's
even?
say it's $85 million. Let's say they spend $100 million on marketing it. So you need roughly $300 million, a little bit less, maybe $275 to break even. That, if it starts well, like if it starts closer to $35 and $40 million, and then has some decent legs, yeah, I think it's possible this movie could break even and be profitable.
I'm trying to check the length of this movie.
Oh, I guarantee you it's not terribly long. Like this is a skewing younger age movie, right? So I don't think it would be very long, probably. So probably pretty short. We'll call it the Ray Aura time range.
Yeah, man.
You know,
it is.
90 to 100 minutes. The Ray Aura range. I think
Yeah, I
it's
don't
probably
see
gonna be
anything
there.
right now, but we'll
All
keep
right.
an eye on it.
What's next?
Garden Variety Vagabond writes, went down a Ryan Reynolds rabbit hole. Started at the beginning with 15, a Nickelodeon show when he was a kid. A guy, a girl, in a pizza shop with Nathan Fillion rocks. Then caught 2007, The Nines with Melissa McCarthy and a young Elle Fanning. Interesting. Perfect double feature with Free Guy.
I'll tell you what, you're going deep cut when you go a guy, a girl in a pizza shop. that's going to some eras that Ryan Reynolds doesn't talk about very much, kind of eras. Or what's the damn one? Waiting. Remember Waiting?
Is
Yeah.
that where he was in the Applebee's? That was
Yeah, it's something. It was like an Applebee's or something like that.
God.
You go back to that era. And of course, the one that a lot of people don't talk about is when he was in Blade 3 as Hannibal King.
Here's the best part in that movie.
Listen, I'll tell you what, him and Justin Timberlake's wife.
Oh, yeah.
What- Jessica Biel, right? Him and Jessica Biel were really good in the movie.
The movie.
They really were. It's just, man, the whole Dracula aspect of that movie. I just remember that was the first time I came out of a Blade movie going, what the hell was that?
Wasn't that Captain Cold?
What's
Captain
that?
Cold. Captain Cold from Legends of Tomorrow played Dracula in that movie.
Was that him?
Remember?
The guy
That's
from
him.
Prison Break?
Yeah. No. Was it the
Wait, Captain Cold from what?
Captain Cold from Legends of Tomorrow?
Yeah, from the Flash show.
Was he in Prison Break?
Yeah, he was the main guy in Prison Break. Was that him? And I don't remember who
I don't
was
think they were
that
the
played
same
Dracula.
person, John. For real. Because this girl I knew was in love with that main character on Prison Break. That's not him.
I mean,
Well, unless he got super old and super big.
Or maybe you're not thinking of Captain Cold. Maybe you're thinking of
this
his.
not him?
You're thinking of the other guy, not Captain
Oh, I thought
Cold.
that was Captain
You're thinking
Cold.
of his partner, the guy who was like
deep
the
voice,
flamethrower.
The deep voice guy.
Yeah, the guy with the flamethrower,
Oh,
not
yeah,
Captain
yeah.
Cold. Yeah. There's Captain Cold with the ice gun, and then you had him who
Probably
had a flame
wrong on
gun.
all
There
of
you
them. That
go.
probably wasn't him.
All right, what's next?
Dominic.
all right. We've got That Should Be Me writes, as a Patriots fan and also a Haley Steinfeld fan, I wish the new couple, Haley and Josh Allen, all the best. Nothing will make me happier if the Bills go 0-17 this year.
Oh,
Wow. Come on.
that's gonna break Anne's heart. she thinks Haley Steinfeld should. Really, Josh Allen's dating Haley Steinfeld? Good for you, Josh.
Heat Wave.
Good for you. Yeah. The guy with the heat gun.
Yeah,
yes.
and he did play Dracula in Blade
And he
Trinity.
did play Dracula.
Okay.
Yeah. Good for Josh Allen. I mean, listen, I love the Buffalo Bills. They stopped being my team. They were my team growing up, and for a long time, they stopped being my team when they got to the playoffs and then benched their starting quarterback, Doug Flutie, who got them into the playoffs, and then they benched him for this rookie quarterback, and then they, of course, lost the game. And at that point, I was just like, fuck you, Bills, you're no longer my team. Now, I still have a lot of love for them in my heart. So they're like in my top 3 or 4 favorite teams. So I'll still cheer for them for most games as long as they're not playing against, one of my top 3 teams. But good for Josh Allen, man. Good for him.
Better take care of her. She's like part Filipino.
She is Filipino.
We'll go after you,
Yep.
but you'll probably kill us.
All right, what's next?
Tack writes, had no interest in Joyride due to my dislike of sex comedies until I found out the executive producer on Family Guy, Cherry C, wrote it. Her episodes push the envelope of good taste whenever possible. Excited to see what she does without TV restraints.
Oh, look, I'll tell you this right now. I think this is the best comedy of the decade. I think this is the funniest film in the last 10 years. But if sex humor does not appeal to you, this is probably not the movie for you. It's not all sex humor, but there's a heavy dose of sex humor in it.
For me, there was a little bit of cringe too that I wouldn't, if I saw it the second time, I would turn my head just because I would know it's coming. There's a little cringe because you know me with Peacemaker. That's the reasons why I wasn't into Peacemaker as much as you, because there's some cringe stuff that I'm like uncomfortable with.
I don't think you're using the word cringe the way most people use the word cringe.
Oh.
You shrink away from it, not cringe as in you like that, yeah. But I mean, for a lot of us, that was hilarious.
Yeah.
But again, I say it again, this is to me the best comedy of the last 10 years. But if you have a natural aversion to sex humor, it may not be for you. So I just throwing that warning out there for you. All right, what's next?
Scott Brown writes, 3 episodes in and I found the Skrull espionage and its story possibilities way more interesting than Kang in the Multiverse. I can only listen to Kang monologue for so long. If the MCU Skrull storyline follows any from the comics, it could be very interesting.
One of the things the Secret Invasion has done for me is really reestablish the fact that the multiverse stuff just isn't working for me. Now, don't get me wrong. I love No Way Home. I did. I love No Way Home. But the moment I was sitting in that CinemaCon auditorium over a year ago and Kevin Feige was on stage and said, this is going to be the multiverse saga, a part of me in my best Dave Chappelle voice went, oh no, like, oh dear. Oh dear. And coming back to something like that's a bit more it's comic book movies. It's not supposed to be grounded, but coming back to something like Secret Invasion that is a bit more grounded, to me is like a breath of fresh air. I was like, this is when the MCU works. When you get into the Winter Soldiers and stuff like that, this is when it really fires on all cylinders to me. Like, listen, I like Doctor Strange, the Multiverse of Madness. I did, but I didn't like it anywhere near as much as a lot of other MCU movies and whatnot. And obviously I didn't like Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania and things like that. But that's, I think, part of the reason why I'm finding this show so refreshing. All right, what's next?
Okay, Freddie Lungin writes, maybe the reason Ray doesn't have a hot girl is because he knows they won't be ready to see his mad 2K gaming skills. Well, they would see his 2K gaming skills. He don't let them play. He always goes and doesn't let them play.
Well, and on top of that, every time some hot woman gets it's interested in Ray and approaches him, he always finds a reason why, not interested. It's like, this girl's got 1 million Instagram followers. What are you talking about? You're not interested. Nah, I don't like the way she wears that coat.
Because you know what? It's that life. It's that life. I know I can't live up to that life.
That life?
You guys aren't picking.
But the girls in that life want
correctly.
you.
Dude, all
They're
they
coming
want
after you.
All they want is to share some pizza and NBA jams with you, and you
And a
won't
man
play.
that can
That
make them
doesn't
laugh.
exist. That's what my ex-girlfriend told me.
Puts up
until
a
that
brick.
happened.
It's just funny. It's just even his own sister is like, Rick, she's got 1 million followers on Instagram. What's wrong with you? All right, what's next?
All right. Haley Brownkin writes, hey, Ray. Oh, look at this. Hey, Ray, I have a movie recommendation for you, Nimona on Netflix. It's an animated movie in a futuristic medieval setting about a knight who gets wrongly accused of killing his queen moments before his coronation and has to team up with a shapeshifter named Nimona in order to prove his innocence to the kingdom. I think you would love it. I gave it 4.5 out of 5.
Didn't we have somebody else the other day doing the exact same thing?
I was trying to explain to you what it was when we had that
Right.
It seems interesting. I do want to watch it. It's a movie. It's not a series, so that's good. It's only an hour, 30 or 40 minutes. So
I might have to check it out. I might have to check it out.
It does seem like something that you would like too. Just
All
because
right.
it has some of that fantasy.
I've never even
element.
seen a trailer for it, so I'll have to check
It
it
has
out.
Riz Ahmed as the main voice, and then Chloe Moretz,
Grace Moretz?
as the shapeshifter.
I mean, not that it matters who's doing the voice, but okay. All right. It's got me interested. Okay, what's next?
Okay, Drew Gresh writes, "Hi, John and crew. My top 5 of all time are Indiana Jones and the Raiders of the Lost Ark, Across the Spider-Verse, The Social Network, Interstellar, Knives Out. Thoughts? Thanks for all you do and bring on the filthy."
Well, I love all those movies. I mean, my favorite Indiana Jones movie is still
Last Crusade.
Last Crusade. That's still to me. That's like almost a perfect movie. I like
Is
everything.
it really? Which one's the third one?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the third one. It's the one where they probably should have ended the franchise. I mean, literally, the ending of the movie is the 4 of them on horseback riding off into the sunset.
Mm-hmm.
It's perfect. And I think it was meant to be the end of the franchise. That was meant to be. I mean, George Lucas said after that one, he wasn't never going to make another one. And of course, we've got 2 more since then. But they probably should have ended there. But I love all those. None of those movies are in my top 5, but I love all those movies. All those movies are totally great.
Yeah, that's the only part where I'm like, I should have watched at least 2 and 3 before this last one. You know what I mean? So
least 3.
I could have gotten a little bit more out of it, maybe.
I think as long as you saw Raiders, you were probably
Yeah,
good. But
yeah,
I mean,
really?
you should watch 2 and 3. I mean, they're considered like all-time classic movies. Absolutely, especially the third one. Third one to me is still the best. All right, what's next?
Donovan V writes, "Hot take. I think Pixar's Cars 2 is significantly better than Interstellar. Do you agree with me, crew? Because none of my friends do."
Listen, I always say
Wait.
the most fundamental rule about being a film fan is you must understand the subjectivity of film, which means there's going to be films, no matter how much alike your tastes are to everybody else. At some point, you're going to come across some films that you love that everybody else hates, or that you hate that everybody else loves. And if Cars 2 is a movie for you that for whatever reason, it just strikes you in a certain way that it just fills you with joy and you love it, and it created a great experience for you, more so than say a movie like Interstellar did, which by the way, not everyone loves Interstellar, then that's a movie for you. And there's nothing wrong with that. That is the nature. Now, I don't personally agree. I'm not a fan of Cars, but if it works for you, that's beautiful. And that's the important thing. Ray, you've never even seen Cars, have you?
I've seen Cars,
You have?
but I like Interstellar.
Yeah.
I don't agree with what you told him. I think this guy's wrong.
Yeah, I have to agree.
Also, it doesn't matter on August 2nd because Ninja Turtles will beat both those movies.
Ninja Turtles is going to be the new greatest. I mean, right now, they're already etching the Ninja Turtles name in the Oscars as we speak. In Hollywood, they've got the engravers out already putting it. Best
definitely.
lead actor, Donatello. I mean, they're already doing that now.
Critics' Choice or MTV already got that trophy already.
All ready to go.
For sure.
All ready to go. And the new Oscar category, Best Popular Movie, definitely going to be TMNT Mutant Mayhem, man. All right, what's next?
Flipper McGee writes, "Hey, John, those glasses you wear look great on you. What brand is that?"
These are called Gunners. And I have a few pairs. Now, these are not prescription glasses. I started wearing these back in the movie talk
Yeah, I
days,
remember that.
actually, because I'm always in front of, like in my office, I have 2 43-inch monitors. And I always have had 2 or 3 or 4. Even now, I've got like 3 different displays in front of me. And what I started to find back in the movie talk days was that eventually I was like getting headaches halfway through the day. And somebody suggested to me it might be the type of light that comes off monitors and certain studio lighting. And these types of glasses filter out. Now, the original Gunners I used to wear had the yellow tint.
Right.
But everybody would make fun of me because they say, you look like you're trying to be Bono or something. So it's
yellow
like,
tint, and then
so-
there's orange too.
but then somebody told me they had these that actually had the clear lenses. So I started wearing these and they just make me more, because I don't wear them every day, but I just find I can get through the day a little bit easier when I'm wearing them.
They used to sell them at Best Buy, and I remember after you got through the Call of Duty like little display, there would be like 3 in a glass case, and I was like, so people could play Call of Duty and think they're actual snipers or something like that.
Is that
And
what they're for?
I looked at the price, and I was like, whoa. Those things are expensive, yeah. But
Listen.
I started reading what they did,
Yeah.
and it made sense. all eyes need some sort of filter when they're on a screen for a long
especially
time.
all that blue light's bad.
And you look at the monitors that we sit in front of every day. Like you've got two 32-inch monitors.
Yeah, I'm
in
almost
front of
blind
you.
right now. I'm just not telling you.
Jonathan's got three 32-inch monitors. Well, two 32, one 27. And I've got two 43s. And it's like when you're in front of that much, and I got monitors here in front of me too, it starts to strain.
Yeah.
The next time you wear those glasses and they're like, oh, you look like Bono, be like, listen, man, I don't see very well, and I still haven't found what I'm looking for.
But you know what? I was going to say, I should pull up my guitar and sing it to them. You think I look like Bono?
God.
All right. Still haven't found
Why
what I'm
are
looking
you
for.
like you are?
All right, listen, here comes someone else who just wants nothing more than to eat pizza and play NBA jams with Ray, and he's going to probably deny her. From Alexis. Hi, Ray. Hand wave. Tee-hee, smiley face. Okay, bye, Ray. Have a good birthday, even though it ain't your birthday. Kissy face. That's just from Alexis to you.
I'm starting to think
Now, I got to tell you right now.
I'm getting trolled right now.
No,
by,
I'm going to
like,
tell you right
dudes,
now.
like,
Alexis
seriously.
is named Greg. Alexis is some guy named
Well, Greg, you're
Yeah.
welcome to play NBA jams, too.
But thank you, Greg.
who's
Alexis.
probably sitting at home watching a 1994
You know-
rerun of Cops.
You know what Alexis has in his name too? AI. So
Yeah, that's true.
Haley and Alexis are both AI, and I'm getting trolled for sure.
All right,
I mean,
what's
look
next?
at this.
Tori Gilbert writes, John and crew, what is your favorite all-time stunt from Tom Cruise?
Ooh,
I would go just with the Burj Khalifa because it literally gave me chills.
the one where he's climbing the side of the
Yeah.
Oh, I
tower.
think you said Bridge Khalifa.
No, but the in what was that? Rogue
The one where he
Nation?
jumps over Wiz Khalifa.
Or
you
Ghost
know?
Protocol.
Yeah, the
Whatever
one in
4
Saudi
was.
Arabia or something like that.
Yeah.
Mine has actually got to be not from a Mission Impossible movie. It's from his Mummy movie, when they literally took the plane up to the edge of the atmosphere.
That was real?
And and went 0G. Like that to me is the craziest stunt that I think they've done so far. Like, yeah, there's the flying the helicopters and there's the jumping the motorcycle off the cliff and there's doing the halo jump and all that kind of stuff. But that stunt in the Mummy was, I think that's kind of one of the wildest things I think I've seen him do.
Mine will be from this upcoming movie for sure, because like I've only really Top Gun Maverick, but if you consider flying a plane to be a stunt, which it is, I think I'm going to find mine in this movie. So we'll see.
All right, what's next?
Okay, Sam Fisher writes, Jonathan, you prefer the brown outfits. So does Alex Ross. I say Wolverine in the brown when he's solo, but in the yellow when he's on the X-Men, specifically with Cyclops, because their costume colors are reversed, showing their antagonism toward each other. I think he's good in the yellow as a team, like on the X-Men.
Now,
I think
for those who don't know what Sam's talking about, earlier today on the John Campea Show podcast, and by the way, you should be subscribed to the John Campea Show podcast on Apple Podcasts, on Spotify, on your favorite podcasting app of choice. We're breaking new record. Literally, we're breaking records I think we're now 6 weeks in a row that we've broken our record for the highest number of downloads in a week history for us. So thank you to everybody who's subscribing to the podcast. But anyway, on the podcast earlier today, we got into the discussion about, there's a report going around, a rumor that we're going to see Hugh Jackman wear the comic book yellow spandex Wolverine costume for at least a part of the movie, which brought up, different costumes that he's worn, including the brown one. And Jonathan actually mentioned that he preferred the brown one.
Yeah. I'm in the minority, but I love the brown one.
But I don't have a color preference, but it has to be short ear Wolverine all day.
Oh,
I'm
I
not-
mean, they
short
definitely
ear
got
Batman all day.
goofy long on
Short
some of
ear
those.
Batman, short ear Wolverine. That's
To
my
me,
style.
I don't like any of Wolverine's costumes. I like Wolverine when he's drawn a lot of the comics when he's got blue jeans, white tank top, and maybe a cowboy hat. But with or without the cowboy hat, that's just kind of my favorite look of. That look epitomizes Logan the best.
Well, then he's not playing with the team, then, huh? He's not on the team. If he walks
He can
into
be
the
on the
X-Men,
team. You have to be wearing the uniform to be on the team.
okay.
All right. All right, listen, guys,
Casual
we've
day.
got more to get to, but before we go on and get to all that other stuff, we're going to take a moment and thank the sponsors of today's episode, our friends at HelloFresh and my mobile service provider, Mint Mobile. Guys, we want to take a second to thank the sponsor of this video, HelloFresh. With HelloFresh, you get farm fresh, pre-portioned ingredients and seasonal recipes delivered right to your doorstep. Skip trips to the grocery store and count on HelloFresh to make home cooking easy, fun, and affordable. And that's why it's America's #1 meal kit. And HelloFresh gets that you want options when it comes to what you make for dinner, not just the same old thing all the time. And that's why they offer 40 recipes to choose from every single week. So you'll never get bored and can always find something new to try and love. And when you need dinner fast, don't just call for delivery. Think of HelloFresh. HelloFresh. Their fast and fresh recipes are ready in just 15 minutes or less. Plus, HelloFresh is 25% cheaper than takeout. Ann and I are both working professionals, and so whenever it comes to dinner time, we're always struggling with whether we should get takeout. But with HelloFresh, it makes preparing dinner together fun, easy, delicious, and nutritious. We absolutely can't live without it. So guys, right now, go to HelloFresh.com/Campea50, that's Campea50, and use the promo code Campea50 for 50% off plus free shipping. That's HelloFresh.com/Campea50 for 50% off plus free shipping. HelloFresh, America's #1 meal kit. We want to thank a sponsor of this video, Mint Mobile. From the gas pump to the grocery store, your utility bills and favorite streaming services, inflation is everywhere. Seriously, make it stop. Thankfully, there's one company out there that's giving you a much-needed break. It's Mint Mobile. As the first company to sell premium wireless service online only, Mint Mobile lets you order from home and save a ton with phone plans starting at just $15 a month. You guys know that ever since I switched to Mint Mobile, I've been saving almost 70% a month over my old phone plan. For people looking for extra savings this year, Mint Mobile offers premium wireless for just $15 a month. By going online only and eliminating the traditional cost of retail, Mint Mobile passes the significant savings on to you. All of their plans come with unlimited talk and text plus high-speed data delivered on the nation's largest 5G network. Use your own phone with any Mint Mobile plan and keep your same phone number along with all your existing contacts. Switch to Mint Mobile and get premium wireless service starting at just $15 a month. To get your new wireless plan for just $15 a month and get the plan shipped to your door for free, go to mintmobile.com/Campea. That's mintmobile.com/Campea. Cut your wireless bill to $15 a month at mintmobile.com/Campea. And thank you to our friends at HelloFresh and Mint Mobile for sponsoring this episode. All right, guys. With that down, let's keep things going here. Jonathan, what we got up next?
On to Super Chats. Danny Sanchez writes, Harrison Ford was great in Shrinking. Do you think he should do you think he should be doing more projects like this instead of saving the world at 80? Bebop Rocksteady.
It's not like he's doing a ton of those.
Yeah.
Right? Look, Harrison Ford is an actor. He should play all types of roles and all types of things. I just think, with Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny, you can still have a guy who's 80, who's in great shape, doing some good physical stuff. I just don't think you should push it too much, right? Like, I don't want to give any spoilers away, but there's certain action things he does in the movie that's perfectly fine. And then certain action things I'm like, maybe they're pushing that a bit much. But listen, he should continue to play all types of roles. He should win an Emmy or at least be nominated for an Emmy for his role in Shrinking. He's that good in it. But he should continue to play all sorts of stuff. All right, what's next?
David Goldstein writes, do you think Star Wars will change tunes and make episodes 10, 11, and 12?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it may not be in the next couple of years, but I 100% believe they will get back. Now it needs to be with a new set of characters and a new chapter of the history of the Star Wars universe. But yes, at some point they will do chapter 10, chapter 11, chapter 12. Again, might not be in 3 years, might not be in 5 years, but I think eventually they'll get to that. All right, what's next?
Vanjecture writes, I think the TMNT projection will climb. We have one last trailer to go, and advance tickets aren't open yet. It's also positioned to steal some buzz at SDCC.
Well, it's one of the few big movie projects that is going to San Diego Comic-Con. And without DC there, and without Marvel there, at least their movie properties, it's going to have a lot of the spotlight to itself. Now, unfortunately, with HBO not going, with Netflix not going, with Marvel not going, with DC not going, people are going to be paying a little bit less attention to it, but still, they're going to have the spotlight a lot more to themselves than they would have, and maybe they can get a little bit of a pop coming out of San Diego Comic-Con before it debuts on August 2nd.
Guess
All
who's
right.
going now?
What's next?
All right, Orange Hand writes, the LA Angels have both Mike Trout and Shohei Ohtani, yet haven't made the playoffs, so what does a team in any sport truly need to be champions?
You need balance.
Yeah.
You need balance. I mean, look, you can just add one amazing great player. It's not, unless the guy's name is LeBron James, I guess. But, I mean, you need balance across your team. I remember... this is going back. Ray, you might be able to help me out with the details here a little bit. But the Denver Nuggets had Carmelo Anthony.
Chauncey Billups.
Is that who else played
Chauncey
with him?
Billups. Allen Iverson. Remember, after Allen Iverson left, it was supposed to be Allen Iverson and Carmelo, who should have won the title.
But Carmelo was the main guy on that team for a number of years. And I remember when ultimately they weren't getting anywhere. And I still remember this. I can't remember who the analyst was, but when Denver pulled the trigger and made the trade and traded Carmelo away, and they got back like 4 or 5 guys, but none of them were household names. And this one commentator was saying, whoever gets the best player in the trade is the one who won the trade. And this other commentator said, nah, you watch. The Denver Nuggets are now a much better all-around team. And without Carmelo Anthony, their winning percentage went up.
Guess where they are now.
And look at where they are now. But I mean, that was obviously years ago, but their winning percentage went higher than it ever had been with Carmelo, right? Even though he was the best individual player in the trade. And I mean, that's just, you got to have a superstar, sure, but you can't just have a superstar at the expense of every other position on the team. You got to have some balance. You have to have talent spread across the team. And unless you do that, you're not going to get very far. I mean, look how many years Kobe was in LA. Yeah. I mean, there were many years that Kobe was in LA that they didn't even make the playoffs.
Here's the thing. They do have a good center, or probably the best center in the league, Jokic.
Oh, he's the best player. He's the best player on the planet right now. All due respect to LeBron and Giannis and everybody else, but he's the best player on the planet right now.
But everyone behind this dude cares about him so much that when he's not hitting his shots, they pick up the slack for him. That's what you need. You need a team that gels with each other and cares about each other to the point where even if your superstar is not playing well, then you'll be like, all right, I'll pick it up for you. Or at least I'll try, not just depend on you every
Somebody in the live
game.
chat said Curry. Curry is not the best player in the league.
He's the biggest threat in the league.
He's the best shooter in the league.
Yeah.
No doubt.
Yeah.
But never once did I ever, I'm not saying it's never happened. I'm just saying never once have I watched a game with Steph Curry where he led the game in points, assists, and rebounds. Like, you got to be more than just a great shooter. Like when you look at guys like, say, like the Joker, right? He might be the best passer in the league. This guy does triple doubles like they're going out of style. He is like one of the best players in every aspect of the game on the floor. LeBron James, like, habitually leads his team in points, assists, and rebounds, right? Steph Curry's amazing. He's the only guy. I never thought anybody would top my list being Larry Bird, best pure pressure shooter ever, until Steph Curry came along. He is the best all-time pressure shooter in the history of the NBA, but he's not the best player in the NBA.
I still would pick Larry Bird to be on my team instead of Curry.
It's hard not to. It is, but as a pure pressure shooter, I have never seen anything like Steph Curry. That dude's a mutant.
Effortless, what they say.
But the thing is, he's not the best defender. And he's not the best passer. He's not the best zone defender either.
He's a great scorer.
He's a great scorer. He's awesome, but he's not the best player. I'll take a guy like Joker, who's like all round great, any day of the week.
Yeah.
But I would love to have Steph on my team.
And also the matchup with San Antonio and Denver is going to be great this year with that new kid.
Give him a few years.
But I want to see how he handles that height.
Yeah. He needs to put on some muscle though. Yeah, he needs to put on some muscle. All right, what's next?
Real Life Entertainment writes, I always remember the audible silence in my theater when 5 years later came up in Endgame.
Yeah.
What is everyone's most memorable theater experience?
Well, but that was a really, like, I can remember when that came up on screen for the first time 5 years later, and everyone
was that in the beginning? Was that in the beginning?
Yeah, it's in the very first part of the movie. 5 years later, it starts with Hawkeye being with his family, and then all of a sudden his family getting snapped away, and that's like 5 years later, and you could hear people in the audience go, "Whoa!" Right? I mean, that's not my top 20 or anything like that. It's a great moment, not my top 20. Like, best theater experience, like any one moment of a movie? I don't know. I'd have to think about that.
Yeah, I don't know.
And popcorn?
Popcorn. All right, what's next?
It was the dog scene in Van Wilder.
Oh my God.
I almost vomited. Aiden Foley. I literally was dry heaving. Aiden Foley, unpopular take, Venom is better than No Way Home. That is unpopular.
Not unpopular to me. I agree.
Yeah.
I like Venom.
No, it's unpopular.
I mean, I really like No Way Home. I really, really enjoy that movie. It's great. I liked Venom more.
If you ask me which one I would watch
not
tonight,
Venom 2, but Venom 1.
yeah. If you ask me which one I would watch tonight, if I had a choice, I'd pick Venom.
So would I.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. All
never
right,
seen
what's
Venom.
next?
Not yet.
You haven't seen it?
Not yet. I'm going to do both of them.
Okay.
Wait, you haven't seen No Way Home yet?
No, yeah, I've seen No Way Home. I
you
haven't
haven't
seen
seen
Venom.
Venom?
1 or 2.
Wow.
I will.
Yeah, Venom's a lot of fun. Venom's
Yeah,
a lot
Venom.
of fun.
Don't take it too seriously.
No.
All right, what do we got next?
Everything Entertainment Network. I don't
Oh,
know.
by
if
the way,
you-
sent in like a $20
Oh, yeah,
super
thank you.
chat. Thank you, Everything Entertainment.
Thank you.
Appreciate that, man.
I don't know if you're going to watch the Final Fantasy 16 cutscene movie or not, but it's a very well written game story. There's one villain character who's possibly the most evil, despicable character ever.
I wasn't really planning on it, to be honest with you.
You should. You should
Really?
see. Yeah, I think you should.
Have you seen it?
The cutscenes?
Well, how can you recommend it to me if you haven't
this
seen
is like
it?
the third person who's asked you to. I mean,
Well, okay, yeah.
yeah, I'll check out. Well, I'll check out a first couple of minutes just to see if I like it. I could give you that.
See, I kind of fell off the Final Fantasy games when they changed their combat mechanics, because it used to be you go
Yeah.
and then you get your lineup, you get your, and it's a turn-based kind of combat system. That's what all the classic ones. Now it's more like first-person shooter kind of combat. It's
Like
like
RPG.
So the game.
You're
Live
throwing the
RPG.
controller no matter what. It doesn't matter.
I'm no good. I'm just so bad at console controllers, man. It's crazy. All right, what's next?
Orlando writes, do you remember an Academy Award winning actor that was in a bad movie but still gave a good performance? Meryl Streep in She-Devil was one for me.
Oh, there's tons,
Yeah.
tons of examples.
I've seen them where they give bad performances too.
Every great actor you name will have a bad movie they've been in. I mean,
Yeah.
Jennifer Lawrence is a multi-time Academy nominated and Academy Award winning actress, but she did Passengers. I mean,
What?
Like they
You
all
don't like that one?
with Chris Pratt.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't like that movie.
It's
I
space,
wanted
baby.
to like it because I like Jennifer Lawrence. I like Chris Pratt. I wanted to like it, but not a very good
All right,
movie.
all right.
At least to me. I'm glad if you liked it, but I mean, every single great actor has a bad one on their resume. The question is, what makes an actor great is not if the movie's good, because listen, this is an unpopular thing to say. An actor has very little to do with whether a movie is great or not. I mean, that's really determined more by the script and the director. What an actor can do is elevate it by taking a character and really breathing. But remember, the actor does not write the lines that the character speaks or anything like that. So the best they can do, what you really want from your actors is to be able to get there, really embody the character and elevate the character. But if the movie's going to be bad, the movie's going to be bad. And so that's why every great actor has been in something terrible. It's just but what makes them great is they can be in a terrible movie and still deliver a great performance. That is what denotes a really, really good actor. All right, what's next?
King Daddy Goat writes, Deadpool 3 should be really wild, right? He's the embodiment of hype. Look at him. Hype.
It should be very wild. I can't believe I'm going to say this about a Deadpool movie. I just hope it's not too wild. You know what I mean? Don't make it too, because as bonkers as like the first Deadpool and Deadpool 2 are, they actually had a very structured 3-act story structure that they followed, and all the zaniness happened within that structure, right? I hope they don't go too off the rails. Like, give us a good narrative, a good story, and then make sure all the craziness you want happens within the confines of that story, and I think it'll be okay.
Reynolds will never give us a bad Deadpool movie, whether it's wild or. I believe in him and his belief in this character.
I do too.
Yeah, so
I 100% do too. Yep. All right, what's next?
King Daddy Goat is back. Over under 50%. Ben Affleck returns as Mr. Murdoch in Deadpool 3. Well,
What do you
I'd
think
say
now?
over now.
Well,
baby.
see, here's the thing.
what do you think now?
This is true. It is now official. I just saw this in the Hollywood Reporter. Jennifer Garner,
Your baby.
my girl,
Your girl.
Jennifer Garner,
Ever since I knew you.
the future ex Mrs. Campea, is
Side piece.
is officially coming back as Elektra in Deadpool 3. It's official. I'm not joking. It's official.
They're right there.
No.
There she is. Yep, Hollywood Reporter.
That's good.
Right there. Jennifer Garner returning as Elektra for Deadpool 3.
Just don't bring the seesaw back.
Just don't bring back the seesaw.
Even if it's calling you, don't bring it back.
So this, to me, other than Hugh Jackman being in the movie, is the greatest thing in the
This
world.
might be your greatest movie ever before it even came out.
Jennifer, listen, I have had 4 big celebrity crushes. All right. Actually, no, 3. I've had 3 big celebrity crushes.
Number 4 is out there.
When I was really, really young, it was Courtney Cox. And then Cameron Diaz for a while when I saw her in The Mask. And then Alias came out and it became Jennifer Garner. She has been my celebrity crush ever since. Jennifer Garner is perfection on feet. That's Jennifer Garner. Perfection on feet.
That's what we'll call
So
it.
you add her to this. I'm excited. So with
Like
that as
perfection
the
on roller
backdrop,
skates.
with that as the backdrop,
Deadpool 3.
that's the new subtitle. Deadpool 3.
I'll make that poster.
With her now officially being in the movie, I think that raises the stakes a lot
raises
of
something.
Ben Affleck coming back as Daredevil. I really think it does. I think this raises the stakes of that a lot.
Yeah.
And now you might say, you might say, well, Jennifer Garner and Ben Affleck divorced. So no, but they're still very close. They co-parent together.
Yeah.
They still have a very, very good relationship.
Yep.
When Ben was struggling with relapsing with some of his stuff, Jennifer Garner was his biggest support. I think so. I've gone from thinking it's possible Ben Affleck could pop up in this to now that I know Jennifer Garner is officially in it, I think there's a very good chance Ben Affleck pops up in
Ben
there.
Affleck is going to be in it 100%. As in, even if he's not there, Deadpool's going to make a reference to him.
No, he'll be there.
Oh, okay.
And it'll be quick. Like, I don't expect Jennifer Garner and Ben Affleck to be going off on the adventure with Deadpool.
No, that would
it'll
be
be a
too
quick
strange,
thing and whatever, but I think they'll both definitely appear.
That's crazy.
All right.
This is multiverse for sure now.
The Jennifer Garner news is just assured I'll be going like 8 times to see this movie now in theater.
Deadpool 3.
Deadpool 3.
Turn to the Cars 3.
All right, what's next?
Abraham writes, saw Joyride Wednesday and it was hilarious. The whole theater was dying of laughter on the WAP parody scene.
Oh my God. The WAP parody scene, of course, is you see it in the trailer when they are imitating a K-pop group and they start off, there be whores in this house, there be whores. And
Stupid.
if you think that little thing is funny in the trailer, that ain't nothing.
Yeah.
You got to see the whole musical number.
Thing.
The whole musical number.
Do they have numbers for their preview night yet? Joyride?
I haven't seen. I expect it to be low. I don't think a lot of people are going to go see this movie. They have not marketed this movie much.
Okay.
It's now granted it's a movie that's not going to need a lot of money to break even. It's a very, very low budget film. But despite the fact that I call it the best comedy of the last 10 years, I do not expect it to make much money. I hope word of mouth gets out and people go out to support this film because it is the best comedy of the decade. All right, what's next?
Okay, we have Cutter Hale who writes, went and saw Joyride last night, and I haven't laughed this hard in a theater in a long time. Definitely going to see it again, and that airport scene.
That is the same scene. The musical number scene and the airport scene. And you know what? That's not even the funniest scene in the movie. I don't even know if it's in the top 3. I mean, there's the bar scene is legendary. The family get-together scene, legendary. The train scene, legendary.
And Deadeye is legendary.
Deadeye. I didn't think I'd like the Deadeye character going in the movie, but I ended up.
Everyone knows a Deadeye.
Everyone
knows a Deadeye.
Yep. I like the Deadeye character very much. They're all great. Guys, please make plans to go see this movie. It deserves every bit of support that we can give it. It's really just a top-notch movie. All right, what's next?
Really wish we had gotten a sponsorship from this from their distributor on for as much.
I mean,
as we
they
talk
really.
about it.
Seriously, for the amount of money, for the amount of promotion, I don't think. I think
Lionsgate?
I am promoting this movie more than
They did.
Lionsgate is.
Yeah.
They damn well. I used to be on Lionsgate's payroll when I used to do Comic-Con HQ. They should put me back on the damn payroll for the amount of free publicity I'm giving this damn
They
movie.
ought to at least give you a free digital download of the film.
Yes. Damn it. Yes. Just give me a copy of the movie so I can watch it at home every day.
There you go.
I just
Paramount.
no, Lionsgate.
Lionsgate.
Oh no, you want the TMNT.
Give me that advanced Ray copy.
You want some of that advanced copy.
Yeah.
All right, what's
Dr.
next?
Stinky writes, so regarding TMNT, earlier I understand Michelangelo is younger than the rest. That's why he sounds so young, but I don't recall sounding this young at 13. It was actually Donatello, I think, not Michelangelo. That
Yeah.
sounds.
Yeah.
And
But
he
are they all supposed to be
sounds.
the same age?
Yeah, I mean, they sound like teenagers, and I get Chris's point, but they sound like teenagers, and Donatello is like, "Oh, hey guys."
Yeah, but
But
you
then
know
again,
what? That's the nerdy
we all
part
knew
of
the
that.
one kid who sounded a little bit,
Yeah.
Maybe he's 13.
less developed yet. I suppose.
I do agree that they do sound younger than I would have ever thought they would sound, but
Right.
it's not taking me away from being excited for this
The
movie.
little turtle balls haven't dropped yet. I mean, just give
Hey,
them a break.
turtles grow up differently.
Yes, that's right. They grow up
Yeah.
differently.
Come
Who's
on.
to say?
Who's to say turtles don't talk like this?
All right, what's next?
Amin writes, percent chance we see Jeremy Renner in another Mission film. I wouldn't mind it, but I don't know. Well, last time we saw him was Ghost Protocol, right?
But he's still rehabilitating and stuff, right?
Oh, he'll be fine.
He'll be fine now. He's up and right.
I'd say I'm not gonna say 0, maybe 10% chance.
Was his Mission Impossible that good though? Well, when he was in it, was his character good?
Sorry,
Do you remember?
In my face.
Yeah, I mean, I liked his character in it. I mean, it was right around the same time that he did Bourne Legacy.
Like
So he was kind of popping up in both those action franchises around the same time. So yeah, he was good in it. I'll go 10-15%. 10-15%. All right, what's next?
John Redcorn writes, read that Bad Boys 4 wrapped filming. Do you think that a slap will negatively impact the film's box office?
Yes. Yeah. Will it kill it? No. Won't kill. But look, the reality is Will Smith's image has forever been changed. All right. There are not everybody, and I'm not saying whether it's fair or unfair, but there are going to be a lot of people who just don't look at Will Smith the same way anymore. The image of the always happy, jovial, fun, nice guy, that image took, again, I'm not saying it should or shouldn't. I'm just saying the reality is that image took a real beating when on national television, he decided to walk up on a stage that he had no place being on and hit another person. It just changed the way a lot of people, it doesn't change the way everybody looks at him, but it changed the way a lot of people looked at him. And I do think that will have an impact on Bad Boys 4. Do I think that kills the movie? No, I don't. But I think there is going to be an effect. Whether that's fair or unfair, I just think I don't think most people would disagree that there will be an effect, as there will be on a lot of his career. Listen, the movie didn't end up being good, but that Apple movie he just
Emancipation?
did, Emancipation, right? The movie wasn't great, granted, but it got a lot less attention from people than I think it would have had the slap never happened. I think a lot of people were just content to look past the movie, whereas before they would have been more curious to check it out. So again, I don't think it's going to kill the movie, but I do think it's going to have a negative impact. All right, what's next?
Spencer Smothers writes, Ryan Reynolds' production company Maximum Effort just tweeted welcoming Jennifer Garner to Deadpool with an image of her as Elektra.
Yeah, again, in the Hollywood Reporter, Deadpool 3. Very excited about that.
I'll have to read the article, but the fact that it even says Hollywood Reporter exclusive, I feel like it's at least a bigger part. I'm not saying it's a huge role in the movie, but more than just like a 10-second, like she's floating through the multiverse.
Why would she come back?
Like she has to have lines, and for it to be a Hollywood Reporter exclusive.
Well, look, I completely believe it's going to be a short cameo.
Short
but that
cameo.
doesn't mean,
but not a glimpse.
yeah, you know how in Deadpool 2, Deadpool opens the one door in the X-Mansion and all the X-Men are behind the door and that's it? It's not going to be that. There's going to be lines, but I don't think it's going to be a lot.
A comic uniform or no?
Oh,
Well, Wolverine said yellow. They said yellow, so I could say that's a comic uniform.
I don't know. I mean, the Elektra outfit is a very skimpy, tight outfit.
You're talking about the comic accurate.
Yeah,
No, I don't.
I
think
don't
so.
know that Jennifer Garner is going to get herself in the type of shape to wear something like that. No, I mean, would I like it? Of course I would.
That's like triple showing.
But I think that's asking a bit much. I think that's asking a bit much
She's a
at this
beautiful
point.
lady. Come on.
I mean, what are you going to put on the outfit? Are you going to do it?
Yeah, I
right?
will. And I'm not going to show anybody, but I'll put it on.
I'll put it on. All right, what's next?
I feel like he might have already. Costanza writes. Oh no, John Redcorn writes. Wasn't Triple H in Blade 3?
Yep.
What an acting debut.
I don't even think that was his debut.
He was the chaperone.
I'll tell you what.
The chaperone or something.
What's his last name? Paul
It was Levesque.
Levesque. So
Jean-Paul Levesque.
Triple H is in my top 3 favorite wrestlers of all time. I've always loved Triple H. I really, really have. And I had hoped he, like Dwayne The Rock Johnson, could transition into a movie career. I mean, look, a dude who looks like him with his physique, tell me he wouldn't have been a great Conan if he could act a lick.
Oh, yeah.
The problem was we learned very quickly he can't act.
And not only that, his brain is all wrestling. He's 24/7 wrestling. He's been trying
he's
to be
always
that
thinking
person
wrestling,
for a long time.
24/7, all the time. But I mean, it's too bad because if he had any acting talent, I think he could have had a nice little side career.
Mm-hmm.
Now, he never would have been Dwayne Johnson, and he never would have won an Academy Award. But if he had like even just modest acting chops, he could have had a couple of action films.
Yeah.
He could have done something, but he just,
Or the sidekick to a good action star.
Dude could have
Yeah.
been Kratos.
I mean, like,
Oh,
dude
Kratos.
could totally be Kratos. We talked about that on the show a few weeks ago.
Oh, did we?
That, listen,
I don't pay
if he
attention.
could act, because his physique is still stupid.
Wow.
How old is Paul now? He's in his 50s, right?
He's got to be.
Yeah, look
almost
at
60.
Triple. Just look
yeah,
up
I've got
Triple
it right
H's
here. Let me
age.
look.
He said, but he is in stupid physical
He's
condition.
53.
53?
Sorry.
He's in stupid physical condition.
No, it's
If he could act at all, he would be a great Kratos. But
I like how
Not
he's
gonna
listed Triple H.
he just listens to him. That's what people know him. Hunter Hearst Helmsley, ladies and gentlemen. Triple H.
Yeah, do you remember it used to be like Dwayne's, he was always credited as The Rock. And then at some point, his
became
agents
Dwayne
were like,
Johnson.
He became
you
a
gotta
legitimate
knock
Well,
the...
for a while, he even told people not to call him The Rock.
Yeah.
Yeah,
anymore.
then it was Dwayne
And then
Johnson.
a year or two after that, he just embraced it again. And like
Yeah.
people love The Rock. So he started even referring to himself as The Rock every
Right,
once in a
right.
while. He'll always be The Rock.
But I mean, just credited in movie titles. I remember when
Right.
he made that shift.
All right, what's next?
Costanza writes, Canstanza. Are you going to see The Sound of Freedom?
Nah, no interest in it. All right, what's next?
I saw like a poster. I don't even know what it's about.
I mean, it's the only thing that looks remotely interesting to me about is Jim. I always mispronounce his name.
Caviezel?
Caviezel. Yeah, he's a good actor.
Yeah,
I
he
mean,
is.
I like him, but I don't have any
Angel
interest in the movie.
Eyes.
All right, what's next?
Corey M writes, Deadpool 3 seems to be a celebration of the Fox Marvel movies, and it's got me excited.
If it is, that's a great direction to go.
Mm-hmm.
If it is a celebration of that whole like an homage, if you will, a celebration of the Fox era of the X-Men universe stuff, that would be really cool. I would love to see that, and it does seem to be what they're leaning into. I mean, with there's whispers going around. It's not confirmed by anybody, but that Ian McKellen, Patrick Stewart are going to pop up in there. There's already been a lot of talk that Halle Berry is gonna be in there as Aurora, and now we're talking about. Yeah, I mean I'm all for it. If that's what if that's their kind of philosophy they're going with here, making a love letter to that era of the Fox X-Men universe characters, I'm all for it.
For weeks ago, we were asked, "Do you think this is his last Deadpool movie?" The more they add to the cast, the more I think there's a chance that this could be the last Deadpool movie.
No way. No. Disney.
You still don't think that's possible? At
If
all?
this movie can make $700+ million like the other two, Marvel's going to want to keep making these.
But maybe he's done with the character.
No.
Here's the thing. If
Ryan?
you're Marvel, because let me tell you how this probably went, okay? And I'm like, Ryan Reynolds didn't tell me this. Kevin Feige didn't tell me this. I'm just telling you how this went, okay? If Ryan Reynolds wanted to make another Deadpool movie, and I'm Kevin Feige, head of Marvel Studios, I could say, okay, we can put up the money and ramp up our giant marketing machine and get Disney involved and do all this kind of stuff. But for us to do that, we need more than one movie. If we're going to put up that kind of money, that kind of energy, that kind of drive, this number of people behind it, we need it to be a 2 to 3 film thing out of it to make it really worth our while. I don't think Marvel's in the business of looking for just doing a one-shot movie, especially when it's something as beloved as Ryan Reynolds playing Deadpool. They want to get more than one movie out of this. And honestly, again, Ryan Reynolds didn't tell me this. Kevin Feige didn't tell me this. Nobody at any of the studios told me this. I just think that if Ryan Reynolds felt like I only want to do one more movie, I think Marvel would have gone, okay, pass. I really do. But we'll find out. Because you might be right. You might be right. We don't know. We'll find out. All right, what's next?
D-Train writes, Deadpool 3 and Joker 2 will make $1 billion. I don't know about that.
I don't know about that either. Listen, Deadpool 3's got a shot. Because both 1 and 2 both made north of $700 million.
Yeah, they teetered like at
Now you're adding Hugh Jackman as Wolverine, something that people have been wanting to see forever. There is a shot it could make $1 billion.
It could be kind of the No Way Home of the Fox world, right?
Could
the
be.
Fox X-Men world.
Joker 2 is going to be more of a challenge. I think the first Joker just caught a lot of people by surprise.
Yeah.
And I don't know, but listen, who knows? If the first Joker got nominated for Best Picture at the Academy Awards, if early buzz comes out that this is also going to be a Best Picture contender, and you got Lady Gaga in there now, I mean, I'm not going to say it's impossible. I'll just say it's no longer going to have that surprise factor where it can catch people off guard. So we'll see. We'll see. I don't think so, but I think Deadpool has the better chance out of the two. We'll find out.
And plus, it's the first one under the Disney. Everyone's going to be interested in seeing it.
You're talking about Deadpool.
Yeah, Deadpool.
Yeah.
Under the Disney banner. So.
All right. What's next?
Okay, we've got Samir who writes, saw Joyride last night, thought it was just okay. A lot of the jokes fell flat for me, but I do agree that comedy and horror are the most subjective movies. Glad y'all enjoyed it.
Yeah, I mean, look, I had to mention this earlier today. All movies are subjective, but there's nothing more subjective in the art than humor. What's going to make 5 other people laugh may not make you laugh, and vice versa. It's just the way it is. So nothing is going to be for everybody. Nothing is going to be for. There are people I know who don't like 40-Year-Old Virgin. I mean, it is what it is.
There's some people who wrote in that said they thought Easter Sunday was funny. So,
Yeah, and I thought that was like one of the worst comedies I've ever seen. I love Joe Coy, but one of the worst. But that's the thing. So, hey, it's going to hit you the way that it hits you, and there's nothing. That's why I warn people that just because I think it's the best comedy of the decade, I can't say what your experience is going to be because it's all based on the humor for me. So, see how you react. All right, and is that it?
That's it. But I didn't realize that Joker, it has a $55 million budget, and this new one's 153 times the budget. So I'm really interested.
Number one, to get Todd Phillips back, the price goes up.
Yeah.
To get Joaquin Phoenix. Because remember, Joaquin Phoenix only signed on to do one film.
Right.
So if you want to get him back, you were going to have to weigh up him.
Yeah.
You're going to have to do that for
and Lady Gaga.
Zazie Beetz. You're going to have to do that. And getting Lady Gaga in it. Yeah.
Getting Joaquin to sing.
But hey, listen. $155 million for a sequel to a comic book based IP that the previous one won an Oscar and was nominated for Best Picture at the Academy Awards.
Yeah.
By today's standards, that's a bargain.
Mm-hmm. Indiana Jones, here's looking at you.
Yeah. Yeah.
$300 million Jones. All right, guys. And that'll do it for today's installment of Open Mic. Thank you so much for being here and making this little show part of your day. Big thank you to all you guys who sent in those questions. Number one, because you gave us great fun things to talk about. But number two, you supported this channel as you did, and all of us involved with the show. Thank you guys so very much for your support. Joined, of course, today by Ray Ora.
I got 15 minutes or my pizza's cold.
And over there we got Jonathan Voico.
See you guys.
My name's John Campea, and until next time, my friends, bye-bye.